Hey you guys! Welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title of this video today, we are doing a collab. I am super excited to be doing this collab with the lovely Liz Anderson. I think we try to do this every year. We'll do a collab every year. I think, well, we did one in is it September? When was I in the mountains? Yeah, definitely in September. So we did one in September. I had a lot of fun doing it. I like working with Liz. So she basically was like, hey girl, let's collab again. And I was like, you got any ideas? And she was like, let's do a save versus splurge. Let's tell people what we like to splurge on in all sorts of different categories: makeup, skincare, hair care, fashion, and what we choose to save on. I think Liz and I are going to have very different answers, and we didn't want to make our videos 2,000 years long, so we figured we'd film them separately and just tell you it's a collab. So I'm going to link Liz's channel in the description box down below, and I really think you should totally go check her out. Her Vlogmas was pretty good this year too. I enjoyed it a lot. A lot of us did Vlogmas, or well, who did Vlogmas this year? Liz, Shauna, me, I don't know who else, but we succeeded at Vlogmas. We came out on the other end. We all we made it through. It was okay, we've got pretty good content. We all survived. We're alive. We did it. So we did that, and I figured since we're still alive, we should probably agree to do a collab. So that's exactly what is happening. I want to apologize in advance for looking down on my phone, because Liz sent me basically everything I needed to know in a Word document, which is saved on my computer, which you guys are currently hooked up to, and I was too lazy to find a printer and print it. So we're just gonna airdrop it to my phone so I can look at it. That's exactly what is happening here. You're welcome. This is the honest channel where Amanda tells you how lazy she really is 24 hours a day. So our first category is fashion. So I need to ask myself, will I save or splurge on underwear? It depends on what you consider splurging. For me, Victoria's Secret is the only place I buy my underwear. I usually get them for 10 for 35, so in my mind that's a good deal. They're cheap. In my head, I consider that cheap. Most people consider Victoria's Secret high-end, but I wait for the sale. So I'm technically splurging by using the brand Victoria's Secret, but I'm saving when I hook a sale. Yeah, that's also my answer for bras as well. I am pretty much exclusive Victoria's Secret or La Senza, depending on the deals. I find the bras go on sale a lot faster at La Senza, so I tend to save at La Senza because it's definitely cheaper than Victoria's Secret. So I save on the bras, I guess, but I am a deals hunter, so let's just be clear. I very, very much so only shop sales. I refuse to pay full price for anything because it's ridiculous. That's my attitude on it, so there's going to be a lot of saving here, but I do like higher end brands. The next question is socks. I splurge on athletic socks, so I like to buy Puma or Adidas workout socks, but I don't care about my cheap ankle socks. I'll go to the dollar store and buy a pack of 5 for $3. So it depends on what type of sock. I tend to save by going to the dollar store though. Pantyhose / tights, I refuse to wear them, so no answer. T-shirts, I pretty much only buy dirt cheap Walmart t-shirts because I don't like them. I'm a tank tops girl, so if I'm gonna have to wear a t-shirt, it has to be dirt cheap. I think the only expensive t-shirt I own is the one from Mini Matters that I really like, and it's super soft. And yeah, so I don't really buy t-shirts that often, and when I do, they're dirt cheap from the sales bin in Walmart because I'm probably only gonna wear it once, get mad at it, and donate it or throw it out depending on what I do in it. More dressier, long sleeve shirts and things. I have a lot of long sleeve pullovers from Victoria's Secret that are super thin. And I also got a couple in H&M when I was away last, so I like to kind of up it a little bit for a long sleeve, just regular shirt. So H&M, Victoria's Secret, so I tend to splurge a little on those, but I have to really like them. Yeah, it's weird. I know, I'm crazy. Cardigans and other light sweaters. Most of my cardigans and light sweaters, like these crew necks, come from Old Navy, and I usually wait until the 75% off clearance sale to buy them all, so I save. Honestly, I'm cheap when it comes to clothes. I really am. I have to either get it super discounted to buy an expensive brand, or I just cheap out because I don't care. Because if I could live in my pajamas 24 hours a day, I would. Hoodies and sweaters, same thing. I usually get them super discounted or I don't buy them. Like all of my Victoria's Secret sweaters came through semi-annual clearance. I paid no more than $20 for every single one of them. So I do like the higher end brands though. I feel like if you're gonna really invest in a hoodie, Victoria's Secret's the place to get a good hoodie. I mean, they're very wash and wear. I really like them. Like pink is awesome. Seasonal light jackets. Old Navy again, so I tend to save. I always wait for Old Navy's super discounted stuff. They usually put their bomber jackets on clearance for about 50 to 60% off just before Christmas, and I actually bought a nice pink bomber jacket there. It was like 70 bucks. I paid 20 something for it, so cheap. I'm very cheap. I like to save, so I definitely save on that as well. And denim, I very rarely ever wear denim. I'm a jeggings girl. I own 2 pairs of denim and I got them for 2 for $34.50 at Blue Notes. Usually they're a lot more expensive though, so I don't wear it enough to want to splurge on it, so I tend to save as well on denim because I hate wearing it. I am a leggings and tank top kind of girl. Medium / heavy jackets. Heavy jackets, I live in Canada, well we live in Newfoundland, so I splurge on a heavy winter jacket. I think it's important to have good quality winter clothes because we have such crappy winter weather here all the time. So I definitely splurge. Exercise clothing. This is hard. I'm gonna say I like to save because 99% of my stuff has come from Old Navy's clearance active wear. I have 3 pairs of Victoria's Secret knockout tights, but I got them heavily discounted. They're like $82.50 a pair. I paid $79 for 3 pairs in a sale. And I just very recently bought my first item of Lululemon clothing during Boxing Day, and I got it for 60% off, so I paid $59 for a jacket from Lulu. I tend to save. I personally am not a huge Lululemon wearer. It's the first item of clothing I've ever owned, so I don't go crazy. I find it very hard to commit to something that's going to fall apart because I'm wearing it every single day, sweating and like overworking the material and doing all that kind of stuff. But when you buy higher quality workout gear, it does last longer. I cannot deny that whatsoever. Footwear, I am the same with that as well. I genuinely look for deals. 90% of my shoes come from either Walmart or Payless, so I tend to save, but I occasionally splurge on like Toms or Hunters, like good quality stuff. Like Hunters for me are my winter boots, so I definitely splurge on those. So the next question under fashion is sleepwear. I live in my pajamas. I like legitimately go everywhere in my PJs. If I can't wear my pajamas, 9 chances out of 10 I'm going to decline the invite. So I tend to splurge a little bit on there. I like my PJs from Victoria's Secret. I don't look for too big of a discount on them because I legitimately love my pajamas. Jewelry, I don't tend to wear a lot of it, so I just usually get some from like Ardeen, so like super cheap. I don't wear a lot of it. I don't like wearing a lot of jewelry, so all of my jewelry is pretty inexpensive. The next one is purses. I like good quality looking bags, but I don't like paying the price. So I tend to get like nice bags from mySpringShoes.ca for pretty cheap, but they're definitely like expensive-er, but like they're not brand name or they're not designer, so I like to save as well on that. Swimwear, I hate swimming. I have one bathing suit. It was $5 in the clearance bin at Walmart, so there you go. That should answer that one. Makeup. I find it hard with makeup sometimes because I like high-end and drugstore both equally for different reasons. So if I can find a dupe, I will save it, but I don't mind splurging either. So the first one is primer for face and eyes. Face primer, I don't mind getting from the drugstore. I will save on unless I'm like, sometimes I get like a higher end makeup brand gift with purchase and I'll usually take the primer. So I don't mind drugstore. Eye primer, there's nothing better than Urban Decay's primer potions, so I'm a high-end sort of thing. Foundation, I prefer high-end foundation most of the time with the occasional drugstore, so I do splurge on my foundation because I have super oily skin and I want something that's going to work really well. Concealer, 50-50. I love me some good high-end concealer, but I also love a very good drugstore concealer, so I'm kind of 50-50 on the saving and the splurging for concealer. Under eye setting powder, I actually don't use one because I think they're unnecessary, and I just use my overall face powder to set my under eye. So don't use one, so I can't weigh in on that. Face powder I save on. The drugstore has lots of very good options. Brow products I tend to also save on. I've gotten some like $3 dupes for like Benefit brow stuff, so I tend to save there as well. Eyeshadow I splurge. I pretty much only use high-end eyeshadow, so totally splurge on that. It's insane how much money I will spend on eyeshadow. Eyeliner I save. My favorite eyeliner is actually 99 cents. So there you go. Mascara I tend to save on, but I will use up any deluxe samples or anything I get that are high-end. Contour and bronzing products I definitely splurge on. I love a good bronzer. I love to contour, so I definitely spend the money on that. Blush I tend to save on. I only have a couple of high-end blushes, so I save. I save on blush a lot of the time. Highlighter I splurge on because I love me a good glow and it's the best. And I think the last question under, nope, there's two, I apologize. Setting spray I tend to save on. My current setting spray is like $4 from Walmart, so I tend to save. Lipstick I usually go high-end on. I stick to my Sephora and my MAC for my lipstick. I don't really tend to like drugstore. I think out of like my 200 lipstick collection, I think maybe 7 or 8 of them are drugstore. Skincare. Okay, skincare, this is a whole other world. I'm just going to preface this with taking care of your skin means you're taking care of yourself, which means it's important. So the first one is a lip balm, high-end. Absolutely 100% splurge on my lip balms, and I don't care because they keep my lips hydrated and you just want to protect that skin. Listen, I have a hard time spending money, so sometimes splurging on myself, I have to like convince myself it's worth it. So I definitely do that with lip balm. Lip scrub I tend to save on because I usually make it myself, but on the off chance I buy it, I spend like maximum $10 on it, so I save. A cleansing balm, I don't use one. Face cleanser, I definitely 110% splurge on. Not afraid to admit that. Pretty much all of my skincare is a splurge. A face scrub, I splurge. Moisturizer, I splurge. Eye cream, I splurge. Serum, I splurge. Toner is 50-50. I mean, I spend $15 on my toner, but it's from a wellness store, so it's a small bottle, so I guess technically it's a splurge because you're not really getting a lot of product. Makeup remover, I technically save on because I don't really use anything except for a cloth from Sephora that was like the 2 for $15, and I use water, so I technically save. Face sunscreen. I don't actually use a specific facial sunscreen. I only buy foundation with sunscreen in it, so I just kind of, you know, splurge because I pay a lot of money for my foundations. Face masks. Some of my favorite face masks are cheap, so I'm gonna save on that. I think I only have one ever high-end face mask, so definitely a saver on the face masks. That brings us into hair care, hair brushes / combs. I am like a dollar store girl for that, so save. Hair tools like a hair dryer, flat iron, and curling wands. Splurge. I splurged once and I spent like a grand total of $700 on all of the hair tool accessories, and I've never had to replace them, and they're all like 8 to 10 years old now and they still work brand new and they're still on quality, so I definitely splurge. Shampoo and conditioner I save. Hair masks, washout treatments I save. Leave-in creams I save. Hairspray I very rarely use, and I generally save. I did once bite the bullet and buy the Kardashian hairspray and I like it, so I kind of splurged once, but I generally save. Body care, body scrub I splurge. I low-key love the Indigena body scrubs and they're like $60 a jar, so I treat myself in that department. Body wash I save. Body moisturizer I save. Bath products, bath bombs, bubble bars, etc. I guess you would consider Lush splurging because some of those bath bombs are $10, so I'm gonna say splurge because I'm a Lushy at heart. But yeah, like a good sized bath bomb now is gonna run you like $9.95 or $10 or whatever. So yeah, I definitely splurge. Sun protection, I generally, sun protection I do splurge on in the summertime because my body, like, it burns. I turn into a lobster when I go out in the sun, so I do pay extra for high quality SPF because I need to save my skin. Self-tanning products, I do not self-tan, so I don't waste money on that. I don't spend money on that, I should say. And fragrance is the final question, and I tend to splurge. Who doesn't splurge on fragrance? They're not exactly cheap. I mean, I guess you could body mist from like Pink or whatever, but if I buy perfume, it's like, they're either like the celebrity ones. I love all the Taylor Swift perfumes. Vera Wang Princess is one of my all-time favorite perfumes as well, so I definitely splurge. And that is the end of the categories that Liz sent me. This was a fun little tag to do, but I do tend to save. I think as a whole, I think it's fair to say I save more than I splurge. So thank you, Liz, for asking me to do this collab. I had a lot of fun. It was kind of hard thinking of some of them because, like, you didn't really, like, I don't really realize it, like, thinking about like how much you actually spend. You don't think about it when you're not looking at a list. But I did think of something else to add to the fashions list, Liz. Robes, like bathrobes. I splurge on bathrobes. I have a bathrobe problem. I love me a good fuzzy robe. So I did spend $40 on one at Victoria's Secret recently. It was regular $90, so I got it for cheap. But still, I splurged. So yeah, anyway, that's it for me for this video, you guys. Give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you go and check Liz's channel out. She always posts fun content. I love watching it, and I love working with her. I love you, lady. Make sure you subscribe to her. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me if you're like a saver or a splurger, or what's like your favorite splurgy item. I really want to know that. And also tell me down below if you want me to do some more collabs in the future. Give me and Liz some ideas because we like working together. So do that. That's your job. I'm putting that on you guys. And I will see you all in my next video. I love you guys. Bye!